I start with a prayer by Robert R. Walsh, another UU minister. I am wondrously wrought, partly shaped by my biology, partly shaped by my culture, and partly self-shaped. I am so wondrously fashioned that the workings of myself amaze and confuse me. I know that I have the power to choose among many paths in life, but most of the time I'm on automatic pilot, acting out of little examined assumptions, beliefs, rituals, myths, appetites, and impulses. I can meet life in many ways. I can be tough-minded. I can be tender-hearted. I can move between activity and quietness. I can express my uniqueness and individuality, and I can forget myself in commitment to family and community. I can judge. I can bear witness to the good and evil around me, and I can forgive. I can analyze, theologize, figure out the world, and I can listen to the still small voice of conscience, intuition, Holy Spirit. All these ways of meeting life and more are part of the potential that is me. But I'm afraid to move very far or very fast from the ways that have become comfortable. I seek the self-knowledge that may illuminate new possibilities in life, and I seek courage to try them. Most of all, I pray for wholeness, for a life in which my many ways of living can be connected and filled with the meaning of the holy creation. When I think of renewal, our theme for this month, I remember a story that I've heard many times. A teacher is talking to their students about bullying. To demonstrate, they hold up a blank sheet of paper. Then they ask the class to say what things that other people say to them that might hurt. The children start responding, and each time a child says something that would hurt somebody else or them, the teacher wrinkles the paper. This goes on as the children respond. Until the paper is nothing but a rumpled up ball. Then she turns to the children and she says, what if you say you're sorry? What if you didn't really want to hurt somebody? Try to smooth out that paper. It doesn't look the same, does it? No. The wrinkles are still there. Even saying I'm sorry does not make it new. And no matter how hard the teacher tries, the paper is never the same. As we go through life, everything we experience, good, bad, or indifferent, affects us in some way. It puts a wrinkle in our story. We never really start anew, but instead we build on our experiences. We incorporate the wrinkles into our own story. Each of us has a unique story and unique ways in which we have learned to incorporate new events as they come along. Do you ever get stuck? Feel like your life has gotten into a rut? Do you continue to do the same things day after day, week after week? Many of us here are retired or perhaps retired. What do you do with that retirement life to keep life from getting stale and feeling like you have no purpose at all? Some of us manage to hang on to the spark that we had when we were younger. From a Google search, I found this AI summary. Retirement can be a time of significant life changes, and for some, it can be accompanied by an increased risk of depression. While retirement itself doesn't directly cause depression, the associated changes in social roles, financial situations, and health can contribute to its development. And it's not just retirement. It could be the day-to-day drag of job, the repetition of household tasks, or even a life full of activities and social events. In any case, do you ever find yourself asking what it's all about? Why are you here? What's the meaning? If not, consider yourself among the blessed few. Let me give you my example from my own life. Since we moved to the villages about 7 years ago, I've had difficulty finding something that really feels meaningful to me. I've done various things that try UU, mostly behind the scenes, newsletters and running the AV stuff. But I had decided after retiring from ministry that I did not want to take on another leadership role in any congregation. I stayed away from committees, the board. However, this year, when our congregation elections were looming, we could not find anyone to take on the role of treasurer. We were to the point that we were going to have to hire someone outside to do our books. Our previous treasurer graciously stayed on for 5 years, 3 years past his original commitment. But he was moving, and something had to be done. This started a worm in my brain. Could I do this? Did I even want to do it? I'm not an accountant or a bookkeeper, but my background is in math and computers. And I had helped my late husband many years ago with data entry as he was an accountant and helped him out a little bit. But on the other hand, I'm old. Can I learn something this complex now? But I didn't want us to have to pay an outsider to do this task. So I've taken a huge leap of faith, trusting that I could learn what I didn't know. And with promises of lots of help, I volunteered. I took over in April, and the learning curve was much steeper than I expected. I have ranted and cursed and pulled my hair out. I even called your treasurer, Trish, for help. And she did help me out, bless her heart. Thank you. I'm even on the verge of quitting. I was ready to say, no, take it back. I don't want it. But alongside that frustration, there's been a great deal of sense of satisfaction as it started to come together and I began to see how it all worked. Taking on this task has given me an unexpected sense of purpose. Do I recommend that everyone start learning accounting? No. But I've always contended that if I ever stop learning new things, I might as well throw in the towel and just give up on life. I'm not quite ready for that yet. We use the word renewal in a very similar way to we use to the word revival, which literally means to give new life, where renew means to make it new. Google says that revival is, among other things, renewed attention or to interest in something. It is my thought that the two meanings are intertwined. Starting to learn something new or reviving an old interest that you set aside for one reason can each help to uplift your spirit. So let's go back to the stories we heard earlier. Vashti and the dot, and the crumpled up paper representing bullying or any other hurt that might come along in life. Picture life as an onion, not one where you're peeling off the layers, but where you're putting on the layers, building up your experience. Life starts off as a smooth paper, and it doesn't take long before things come along, and it's crumpled and wrinkled. Outside things happen to us. Some events are smooth and affirming. They're kind of a smooth layer on our onion. Others are harder and seem to drain the delight from life. These are the wrinkles in our life. But we're not stagnant. As we grow, we build more and more layers, some smooth when life seems easy, Other times, not so much. These are our wrinkles. They remain a part of our total self, not necessarily visible, but there nonetheless. We learn to go on in spite of the wrinkles. Last week, Reverend Christina talked about rest as renewal. I totally agree with her premise. My body, with its own peculiarities, demands that I rest more than most people. But if I just give in to that totally, I would become a slug, doing nothing but laying around and resting. So I have to keep adding new layers, learning and growing and searching for my truth. Where are you in your growth? Perhaps it's time to put on another layer, pull out another layer, and start drawing it off. May it be so. And now we're going to sing hymn Return Again. I think twice through is what we're going to do. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard. The path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Blessed be.
Please join me in reciting the words on the screen as we extinguish the chalice together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together. Okay, sorry. Please join hands or hold your hands in the air to send energy and love to all as we join to sing Weave.